Alright guys, I got my 5865 and the shroud is all rotted out. I got a brand new shroud here that the guy gave me with the machine when I got it from him. But it's for an engine that doesn't have a coil. You know, it's made for like a newer Magnum motor, not a K-series. So I've drilled 2 holes on the side here where the coil would mount. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to weld this nut onto the back here. So I ground off the paint. I just kind of put this bolt in here with this nut on the back side as a way to try to hold it. I'm just going to try to put a couple tacks against that nut on the inside there and see if I can get it to stick. I'm going to have to make a plate to cover this hole here, and there's 2 little grommets in there that I can thread it into. So let me see if this works. Well, it ain't pretty, but I got it done. I blew a hole through it. It's only my 2nd time I've welded. I have a really hard time seeing what the hell I'm doing. You know, when you put the helmet on and it's dark, and then you're like, where the heck am I welding? Anyways, I got them on. I'm going to cut out a little piece of metal to put over the top here and drill 2 holes in it, and then I think we'll be ready to go. Just got to paint it. Well guys, I'm working on a 5865. I got to get this axle off here on the side because the Swiftomatic pivot point was broken, and that would be this bolt right down there, snapped off, and I can't get it out. So I'm gonna have to take this axle off and probably weld a nut on the top and try to use a slide hammer and pull that thing out of there. But I've tried everything in the world to do it on the machine and I can't do it. So I'm gonna pull the axle and try it on the workbench and see if I get better results that way. First I'll take off the wheel and then I'll go from there. Well, I took off the wheel. I decided I would try to do this without taking the axle off. I took all the bolts off and it just didn't want to come off, so I just welded a nut on here, like a big 3/8 nut with a big glob of weld. And I'm going to attempt to use my puller on this, but first what I'm going to do is heat up the thing with the torch and see if I can get it a little bit hot, and then we'll try the slide hammer. That's what I meant to say, slide hammer, and see if we can yank that thing straight out. Well guys, I got it out. Here's what the new one looks like, and here's the old one down here. And what I was able to do is I welded that nut on there like I was saying, and I took this punch and I just punched up like this, and I got it out. So I guess that nut was welded on there pretty strong. Just I took a 3/8 nut, I drilled it out to exactly 3/8 on the inside, and I just put a pair of vice grips under this and put a big fat ugly weld on there, and that sucker came right out. Now what you'll see here is that the old one, the thread snapped off kind of like right there, right even with the shank, if you will, and there's just like these grooves in here that hammer right into the thing. So what I'm going to do is just put this over the hole and just tap it in, and I should have my Swiftomatic pivot point remounted. And as far as this tractor goes, like, I wasn't able to shift it into high range because all this crap was busted, so it was stuck in low. So I'm hoping that now I can get some high range out of this thing and put it back together and put it back in service again. Well, it worked. I got high range now. Yay! Now the next thing is to replace this shroud. And I've got this one over here drying, which I just painted. And I gotta install that. And then we should be in a lot better shape than we were. Still not the prettiest tractor in the world, but it will be a more functional tractor. And you see all this down here, that's what we're fixing. So should be good.